In a small, quiet town, surrounded by misty hills and golden fields, lived a 25-year-old young man named Ethan Parker. Ethan wasn't poor, but he wasn't happy either. Every morning, he dragged himself out of bed, stared at the ceiling, and thought, "What's the point of my life? Why does nothing ever go right for me?" He worked as a delivery boy at a small grocery shop. The job wasn't easy: long hours, harsh weather, and barely enough pay to cover rent for his tiny one-room apartment. When he delivered groceries to big houses, he often saw people laughing, families dining together, and kids playing in big gardens. He would whisper to himself, "Look at them. They have everything. Why can't my life be like that?" Every night, he scrolled through social media, smiling faces, new cars, vacations, and parties, while he sat alone eating instant noodles. He didn't realize that behind those pictures, everyone had their own battles. Slowly, Ethan's heart filled with jealousy, sadness, and self-pity. He stopped meeting friends, stopped smiling, and even began avoiding his reflection in the mirror. One night, after another tiring day, he sat on a park bench under a dim streetlight. He whispered bitterly, "I hate my life." That's when an old voice replied, "Why, son? Why do you hate it?" It was Mr. Harris, a retired school teacher who often sat in that park reading books. Ethan looked up, surprised. "You won't understand, sir. My life's full of problems. I work hard, but I get nothing. Others are lucky. I'm not." Mr. Harris smiled gently. "Come tomorrow morning. I want to show you something." The next morning, he met him as promised. Together, they walked silently until they reached a hospital. Mr. Harris said, "Let's take a short walk inside." Ethan hesitated but followed. Inside, he saw a young boy lying in bed, his legs covered in bandages. He smiled and waved. "Good morning," he said cheerfully. Ethan forced a smile and asked, "You look happy today." The boy laughed. "Of course! The doctor said I might be able to walk again after 6 months. Isn't that amazing?" Ethan felt a strange sting in his chest. He couldn't remember the last time he had been that hopeful. Next, they saw a woman in her 30s reading a book while hooked up to machines. He whispered, "She has cancer. She comes here every week for treatment, yet she never complains." Ethan lowered his head. "They're fighting so hard just to live, and I complain about my job?" Mr. Harris smiled. "You see, Ethan, when you start comparing your life with those who have less, you'll find countless reasons to be thankful." Later, they visited a small orphanage at the edge of town. Children with torn clothes ran around laughing and playing with paper-made balls. One little girl named Lily ran up to Ethan holding a broken doll. "She's my best friend," she said joyfully. Ethan smiled weakly. "She's beautiful." Lily grinned. "Even if she's broken, she's mine. That's what makes her special." Ethan's heart melted. Those kids had nothing. No parents, no luxuries, yet their faces glowed with happiness. Mr. Harris said softly, "They don't hate their life, Ethan. They celebrate every little thing. Happiness isn't about having everything. It's about being thankful for what you do have." That evening, as the sun dipped behind the hills, Mr. Harris handed Ethan a small mirror. He said, "Every morning, look into this mirror and say 3 things you're grateful for. It could be anything: your breath, your job, your health, Your eyes. Do it for 30 days. Ethan nodded, though he didn't believe it would work. The next morning, he stood before the mirror. The same tired face looked back. He sighed, but then said softly, "I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful for my job. I'm grateful I have food to eat." He repeated it every day. At first, it felt fake, but slowly, something changed. He started noticing small things: the sound of birds, the smell of fresh bread, the laughter of children on his street. He started greeting customers with a smile. He helped old people carry groceries. He started saving money. Weeks later, his boss noticed the change and promoted him to supervisor. Months passed. Ethan's small apartment was now neat and cozy. He had painted the walls himself. He no longer compared his life to others. He had started volunteering at the orphanage, teaching kids how to read. He often said, "You can't control what happens, but you can control how you see it." One evening, he went to visit Mr. Harris again. The old man was sitting by the same park bench, reading. Ethan smiled and said, "You changed my life, sir. I used to wake up hating my life. Now, I wake up feeling thankful." Mr. Harris chuckled. "No, Ethan, you changed your life. Gratitude opened your eyes to what was always there." Ethan looked at the sunset, the sky painted in gold and purple. He whispered, "I don't hate my life anymore. I love it." A few years later, Mr. Harris passed away peacefully. On the day of his funeral, Ethan placed the same small mirror beside the old man's coffin. He whispered, "Thank you for teaching me how to see the beauty in life." After that day, Ethan began carrying Mr. Harris's message to others. Whenever he met someone complaining about their life, he would hand them a mirror and say, "Look at yourself. You already have what someone else is praying for." Life isn't perfect. It's never meant to be. Sometimes you'll have pain, sometimes loneliness, sometimes failure. But if you open your eyes to the blessings hidden in every moment, you'll realize you never really hated your life. You just forgot how beautiful it already was. Moral of the story: never hate your life. Every hardship, every struggle, every storm carries a hidden blessing. The happiest people are not those who have everything. They are those who appreciate what they already have.
Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like and share this video and also subscribe our channel.